Hi there, Max is back. Here we are at the Village Breeder, moving on to part 3 of the series Villagers Soup to Nuts. Okay, as a very quick recap, we have our Village Breeder rolling away. As you can see, there are still hearts going around, or I saw just a little bit earlier, you may have missed it. Our 2 villagers at the top are still there, happy as pigs in muck. And down there we have our pumpkin, melon and sugar farm, which is now rolling away. You can actually see it in action as I speak. And I'm just starting to prepare for stage 3, which is to actually select some villagers to put in our villager trading hall. Now the villager trading hall I have made is, well, let's just say it's a bit of an embarrassing build really. It's not the best you'll ever see. But it will suffice for our purposes. What I have done is made a building that is internally 7 wide. I have literally just put a wall and a fence and a roof on. We always put a roof on over our villagers because of what happens when they get struck by lightning. You can suddenly find you have 25 witches as opposed to 25 villagers. So I'm starting just now to lay the track. There's one other advantage of this particular village breeder that you'll see in a moment, but essentially I'm going to be pulling villagers out of this corner. Villagers will tend to congregate where you stand. They seem to have some interest, so you can just come up here when they gather, and you can put in a little a minecart and they will automatically jump into it. I will let them run off the rail here. I will check to see if they're any good. If they're not any good, I will kill them here. If they are good, I will flick the lever and send them on their way into the trading hall where they'll be automatically placed. Let me get some of that prepared, and then we can see how the whole thing works. Right. Rail is now set up, going all the way into the building. Villagers are ready to roll. If I stand here, I have removed this top corner block so they don't take damage. This villager here, who is right in the corner and looking at me, should be the first one to get into my minecart. So let's just see if that works. There we go. Perfect. Now, this villager is a toolsmith. Silk touch. Ah, I need silk touch. How marvellous. Right, I think he's going to survive. Let me go and get myself some emeralds, and I will trade with him. First of all, let's see if we can get him into place. There he is on the rail. And if we follow him down, he should drop perfectly into place. That is excellent news. The next one will go there, although what I'll probably do is alternate them. So I need to put some blocks at the top here to stop the minecart there, and then we'll just work them all down. We'll end up with around 40 or 50 villagers. Let me get some stuff arranged, and then we can continue and see how it goes. Now, we're ready to try villager number 2. Is there anybody standing in the corner? Oh, ninnies, or whatever they're called. The useless green ones, so we'll probably just kill them, but... And we didn't even pick them up. That's absolutely peachy. Let's just see. They can be stubborn sometimes. Oh, well, there's nobody there now. Right, let's see if we can lure some in. Anybody coming over here? Come on, hello, yes. Oh, him I want. Him I want. He could be a librarian. Oh, he's in love instead. They're so busy focused on breeding that I'm having enormous difficulty picking them up. I may have to extend the rail underneath the window a bit further. Nope, we got one. Marvellous. Let's see what he is. He's a cartographer with 25 paper. I will keep one cartographer. 25 is not actually a bad paper deal. So let's just set that. And he's on the rail. and off he goes. And I have actually set him to go on the opposite side. So that's perfect. What you will have noticed is I'm currently leaving them all in the minecarts. And I may well do that. You are fully capable of trading with villagers who are in minecarts. Probably no point in changing that. So, now the moment of truth. Let's see how well the next one that we choose lines up. Hopefully he'll sit in absolutely perfectly. They usually do. What I do not have is another minecart, so let me just make one quickly. Should probably make a bunch of these, but we'll have a go. Now, let's see if we can get any villagers into the corner, particularly villagers we fancy. Fancy a trip? Come to the corner. Come to the corner, it's where everything happens. Please come to the corner. Stop looking at each other. The amount of love in the air with these guys is absolutely unbelievable. Put that minecart there so we're ready. Oh, he's in the corner. Maybe. Yes. Now, he's a ninny. Under normal circumstances, the advice is never kill a villager within the environment of the village itself. But because of the strange nature of our village, that doesn't matter. Because remember, we've got the two guys up there who are telling everybody to breed, and they can't detect anybody down here. So whether these guys are alive or dead, they don't know. It's a cruel world. Right, there's quite a crush now in the corner because I'm here. So let's just see if we can pick up another one. Now, he looks like a butcher. A leather worker. Do I want a leather worker? 4 emeralds for a pair of leather trousers. That seems a bit pricey. I've seen those for as low as 2. And another green one. I'm afraid this is the problem with trying to build yourself a trading center, is you have to go through a lot of villages. Now. Oh, he's in the corner. That should work. Let's try that one more time. Yep. A cleric. 38. It's not the worst trade on earth. 10 gold, though. Whew. That's a lot. I'm afraid that's too rich for my blood. Nobody there, of course. Come on, guys. The crush is over here. This is the exciting place to be. Oh, there's a baby. I don't really want to pick up a baby if I can avoid it. But we may not have a choice. Let me make a slight modification here, see if I can improve the ratio of pickups. I'll be right back. Right. What we've just done is extend this one more block into the area. There's lots of villagers standing here, so we should be a lot more reliable if the pig will stay out of the way in picking up villagers, and that's an exciting villager to pick up. It's a cartographer, again, a lot less exciting than I was hoping. Now, general rule of villagers, if it's night time, don't play with them. So let me go and sleep, and we'll come back as soon as it's day. Okay, that is our first escapee. I've tried to close this off a bit more, so they're less likely to come out. The extension basically allows them to walk across. I did think mobs wouldn't walk across rails, but apparently that doesn't apply to villagers. And of course we've picked up another green one, so we'll get rid of him. Let's come and stand in this corner, see if we can lure some of them across, and then we'll continue from there. It's amazing the crush that forms. Let's push a minecart over. Come on. Get on the rail. That's it. Now, am I going to get my first librarian, or is he another cartographer? It's amazing how many cartographers you pick up. Is this a farmer? It's a shepherd. I'll keep one shepherd. Actually, it's a bit expensive. Oh my god, I seem to have be breeding the most expensive villagers in history. Now, what's this guy? It's another toolsmith. Efficiency 2. Really, I should trade with him before I decide, but as I want to test out the system, we'll work on the basis of keeping him. So, let's just get him back on the rail, and off you go. Now, this is the interesting part. Will he line up neatly next to the other guy? Could that be any better? Look at that. Absolute perfection. Don't want to hit him with the sword. Let's go back. Mounting excitement now as we're picking up more and more villagers, and the trading center seems to be functional. It's raining again. I cannot believe it. Right. After that little interruption, I think you now know or get the gist of how this works, and watching me do this repeatedly is probably not the most exciting thing on earth. So what I'll do is get a bunch of these done and then come back to you. Give me a while. Okay, I know I said I would come back to you in a while, and this is actually the very next villager I picked up, but I just had to show you I just got my first mending villager. So we'll put him in place and continue as we were. And here we have our very first farmer, which is good news because that's the guy we're going to be using, or at least potentially that's the guy we're going to be using for the melons and pumpkins. I don't actually have anything ready to hand to trade with him. I'll go and get some emeralds and let's see how he trades. As luck would have it, when I did a little bit of mining earlier, I did pick up a few emeralds. So let's just see what we can get out of this guy. 9 is not bad. It's not perfect. Perfect is actually 8 rather than 7. Now we can see 7. Oh, 9 and 7. That will do very nicely indeed. It does make a mess of my numbers, but we'll push him along and he will be saved in the trading hall if I can get him onto the rail. There he is. Excellent. Bye-bye, and thank you very much indeed. Here's my second librarian, potentially my third as well, because I picked up a baby in a minecart that I didn't want to do, but this happens. So what I'll do, save this one. I'll just leave him to one side. If he turns out to be any good, I'll put him on a rail. And save him if he's a cartographer. I'm afraid it's the end of his days. But he should have a childhood growing up in a minecart. I just thought I'd record this as it's quite a creepy looking sight. All I did was stand here for 5 minutes whilst I took a break because I wasn't getting any villagers in this corner. Now that they've come over, I can continue my job of slaughtering them wholesale. It's not a job I'm proud of, but it does seem to work. Oh, and the other one's grown up, so you can see who he is. He's a cartographer. Wasn't worth keeping. I'll carry on, and we'll see how many I've got by the end of it. Okay, a quick update. It's been about half an hour. I've picked up a bunch of villagers. I have made one change where I have now automated the back and forth of the minecart. That just allows me to spend a bit of less time standing around trying to get them into the corner. And I can just leave that running. If it picks up a villager, that's fine. The last villager I picked up was quite a nice one, which is Flame for 15, and then Aqua Affinity. I've got one here. This is the one I wanted you to see. Mending. Not just mending, but a really nice paper trade. So I will use this guy. Actually, I'll do a bit of trading with him now. And the guy that I picked up earlier with mending, if he doesn't have a good trade, I'll probably get rid of and replace. 4 is a bit expensive for that, but it's not the end of the world. Just want to see what his glass trade is, and then maybe what the extra books are. 5. That's the perfect glass trade. This is something I never see people do, but it's very handy. It's a very quick way to get glass if you're trading with other villagers, particularly farmers, and building up huge amounts of emeralds. You don't ever have to smelt sand again. Let's just wait for him to upgrade. We'll see what his next book is. Curse of Vanishing. That's not up to much. What I'll do is a major trade on his glass. And that might just upgrade him anyway without buying the Curse of Vanishing book. If it doesn't, I'll trade a bit of paper. And we'll just see if we can get him to upgrade just so I can see the next book. He's being stubborn. We'll pick up another bookcase. He really is being stubborn. As I'm not worried particularly about my emeralds, let's just do this. And right, he has no bookcases left. He has no glass left. He's had a few trades. There we go. Let's just see what the last book is. Blast Protection. Well, not the end of the world. Probably not worth all that trading. Never mind. Let me continue, and I'll get back to you as ever. Well, despite the fact I'm continuing from where I left off as far as you're concerned, actually quite a lot has happened. It started to rain yet again. Why does it always rain when I'm making a video? I have picked up a few more villagers. I've got a backup farmer. I picked up another librarian and another farmer. So I'm getting very well covered in terms of the trades that I'll be able to make later. I have also done some trading with some of these guys just to see what else they've got. And later on, once I've populated the whole population, I will be putting labels up so I know what every trade is. In the meantime, let me get rid of this rain and I'll come back to you because this is ridiculous. Right. The weather's been cleared. I've planted some wheat only because I was picking up wheat everywhere. Well, because every time you hit a piece of grass, you pick up a seed. There's another one. That's strange. I thought I had them over there. All right, never mind. I haven't really been checking on here, so let's just have a quick look and see what we've got in terms of things we're going to trade with the farmers. Well, we've got, obviously, this is going to be paper. Yep, this is filling up very nicely. I will at some point have to convert those into watermelons so that I can start doing some trading with the farmer. But I've got at least a stack. That's not a bad way to go. I've also been collecting some of the reject villagers rather than trading with them. I don't know how many are in there. Can we see that? F3. Oh, there's 12 in there. I didn't put 12 in there. Whoops. You can see breeding has been going on. They're actually breeding faster than I can harvest them now. At some point, as I said, I will switch it off. I haven't actually explained to you how you switch the breeder off, so I'll do that very, very quickly now. It's not the most complicated thing on earth. What you do is go up to your pair up here and break the doors. If you break the doors, the village no longer exists. They stop telling everybody to breed, and everybody duly stops. Very handy. Obviously, if you want to restart it, you just put the doors back. Right, I shall continue this process. It has been a few hours for me. It's been obviously a short break for you. And I will attempt to complete the rest of the trading hall. One problem I did have, I actually ran out of white coats. Now there's quite a few left. So we'll start that up, let that roll, pick up some villagers. I've just picked up a baby. I hate picking up the babies, but never mind. And I will update you in the fullness of time. Okay, let's take a quick break from harvesting villagers because it's been starting to drive me insane. What I think I'll do is pick up some watermelon for trading. Now, when you trade watermelon, farmers will only actually trade full watermelon. So we will grab a bunch of those and a bunch of those. Interestingly, although it looks like you get more watermelon than pumpkin, actually pumpkin rates are higher. That's a bit because they come through complete. So when you trade with your farmer, the trick is to trade the pumpkins first and the watermelon second, so that if they lock up, you don't end up having to use emeralds to unlock them. Let's see. Will he take some more? No. So we'll give him some watermelon. Let him refresh once more. I thought he'd take more than that. Is he going to update again, or am I going to have to use some of these? Right, he's not, so I'll buy some bread. I don't know why, but when I'm on camera, they are so stubborn. Surely you're going to upgrade now. He's not. That is incredible. Right, I'll have to pick something up to trade with him. Let me think about what I can do, and I'll come back. Okay, I finally did it. One trade of wheat, and he was ready to trade, so we'll take those. We'll keep these two, and that's all the trading we'll do for now. Nice to see the farm is up and running. What I'll do is that, just to keep it out of the way, and then I'll go and put all this stuff away. Whilst I'm sorting out the villagers, and I've now harvested all the sugar as well from the farm, I've started to think about phase 3, which will be the iron farm. Now, with the iron farm, which will be registered as a village, I have to have it at least, if I remember correctly, 65 blocks from that village in order to function and not interrupt the village breeder. Although, let's be honest, interrupting the village breeder now wouldn't be the worst thing that ever happened. The thing is that I may want to restart it in the future. So the question is, where would you put the iron farm? And rather than traveling 65 blocks in a direction away from this site, because I want to bring the iron here, what I'm going to do is go up. I'm going to build a column, probably about 80 blocks high. That should still be loaded when I'm down here, and I will use that to farm my iron golems. As a part of that, I have just built a temporary structure here, which gets me from ground level, because I've got villagers down there and I will be moving them by minecart, and I will run a rail up here. Whoops, let's try and not fall off here. up to here, which will be the start of the tower leading up. And the tower will be a simple 3x3, very like the base of this, just going right through the cloud cover. I will run a rail up here. I'll have to refigure this out somehow because I'm going to be end up going up and turning at the same time. Actually, I might be all right with that. And then it will just climb the tower all the way up to the iron farm. That will be in the next episode. Right now, with this one, all I've got to do is to complete the process of filling my trading hall, where I am now making somewhat slow progress, as I had harvested all of the available librarians and had to wait a while for more to appear. They are starting to slowly, but it's such a process, I don't think I'll bother putting that on video. What we'll do is in the intro to the next video, we'll show you the full laid out trading area with signs and so on. Okay, so that's a wrap for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it.